Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we are going to be testing some things inside of the most recent snapshot, which is 24W48. Now, the things I'm going to be testing is related to the Pale Gardens and the Creaking. Now, one thing I quickly want to mention, for people watching this in the future, these things I showcase might have changed, because obviously these are experimental snapshot versions, so Minecraft are constantly changing them. And if you're somehow watching this in the past, there's a new mob coming to Minecraft after 1.21 called the Creaking. So now we've covered if you're watching it from the future or the past, which if you are watching it from the past, let me know how. So the first thing I want to test is the vines. The vines can be gotten from the trees. You can see they spawn naturally generated on the trees when the biome is generated. And you can get the leaves by bone mealing them. They do not naturally tick though, so they are not like vines or saplings, but they'll naturally grow longer. Can you bone meal the leaves to get more of the sapling? And no, you can't. I'm bone mealing the leaves and nothing is happening. So it seems like to get more of the vines, you have to either come to a Pale Gardens biome or you have to bone meal the vines. Now the next thing is the trees. Now there's three things I want to test with growing a tree from the sapling. First of all, can you get the vines from sapling trees? Second of all, does moss place from sapling trees? And third of all, can the creaking heart be gotten from a sapling tree? Now I know the answer to all three of these, but I'm going to show it anyway. So if we quickly just place down some dirt right here, and we grow ourselves a tree, you can see some vines are placed on the tree, and also the moss is placed on the ground. But really, you don't need to do this because you can bone meal both of these. And then the third and final thing is, can you get a creaking heart from a sapling tree? And from the testing I've done, I did also have a look at the code for the sapling. And no, you can't. So when you grow a sapling, it places one of the trees. And when you have a look at the registered features, now it needs to be a registered feature for the tree to be able to grow it, because that is what the trees grow. You can see there is pale oak and pale oak creaking. Now, the sapling only has a chance to place a pale oak, and the pale oak does not have a chance to spawn a creaking heart. So currently, the creaking heart is exclusive to the Pale Gardens biome. Now, while we're on the topic of the creaking heart, I quickly just want to test. If you pick yourself up a creaking heart inside of survival mode, and you place it down, is there a way to pacify the creaking? Because inside of Minecraft Live, they showed it that you can basically break one of these blocks and pick it up, and then if I now place this block down again, we will be able to get our own creaking. Now what I'm testing here is, does the creaking we place down, is it going to be passive towards me because I placed it down? And I can quickly just test that. For a creaking to spawn, it needs to be nighttime, and also it needs to have a block of pale logs above and below the heart. So from doing that, we would have got our own creaking. Now this one is not ours, and this one is ours. So you can see, if I turn around, that one is going to attack me. And this one is my creaking, because if I break it, you can see it vanishes. So no, there's no way to currently pacify these, as even if you place down the block, they will still attack you if you're not looking at them. Now the next thing we're going to try is once again related to the creaking. Is there a maximum amount of creakings that can spawn in one area? And the best way to test this is, let's go to a flatter area so we don't have all the trees in the way. So here we go, we're now within a big massive flat plain biome. And if I now place down a load of logs, I guess let's do this with commands. So if I was to stand, let's say here, what is positive X? So that way is positive X. Let's just go a few blocks this way. And let's just fill in a 30, and then let's do maybe one high, because we only want it one high. And then we're going to do 5 in the Z. So it would help if I specified the block. And this can be pale oak logs. There we go. So then above this, we need to set this to be the creaking heart. And there we go. And then above this, we need to do the pale logs again. So here we can see how many we have. We have 186 creaking hearts in total. So now let's see if there is a maximum. If I set it to nighttime, we should see about 100. Okay, yes, there is no maximum amount of creakings. As you can see, we have pretty much them all here. And we can see exactly how many are here. By just doing creaking, we need to make sure it's the transition one. And that is just because that is the mob the block spawns. The other one, the normal creaking, is what is spawned by a spawn egg. So now let's just do that, and you can see there's 182. And that was, I think, just because I didn't load some of them. So if I now load them all, you can see 186, and they'll keep spawning. So let's set it to daytime, and they are all now gone. And I want to try this again. So let's double it up. So we are going to throw down some pale logs. We are going to throw down some of the creaking hearts. And then once again, some more pale logs. So this is now 186 twice. And once again, if I set the time to nighttime, how many are we going to get this time? Is there more? Yes, there's definitely more than 186. And once again, we can check exactly how many there are by killing them. And it's 372. So going off that, it seems like the maximum amount is however many your game can handle. Which I really thought that the game would have a count on how many can spawn in a certain radius, just to make them a little bit more interesting and unique to find. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. Now, the next thing I want to test, which we're going to have to go away from this, is can you use any pale oak log? So, for example, the stripped or the wood. So I'm going to grab all 4 of them. And I also do want to try planks. I doubt planks would work, but it's worth a try. So if I place all these down, let's just do that. Let's place the creaking hearts above it. And then let's place all these above. And it seems like they do all work apart from the planks. And if I quickly just set the time to night to show you they will spawn, we should have 4 of them here. And we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now, one final thing I want to test with the creaking heart is, does it need to be directional? And the answer to this is yes. So powering them is kind of confusing if you're not too sure. So the 2 woods, the ones that have the texture on all sides, can just be placed at the top and bottom. But if you are using the log, the one with this wooden texture in the middle, that needs to basically align with the creaking heart. Meaning it needs to be placed in the same direction as the creaking heart. So you can see that if I was to then place this one like that, that does not power it. If I was to rotate this, that will power it. Now, the creaking is not meant to be killed. So this next thing I want to test is there any way to kill it? And I have done a lot of testing on this. And there are only 2 ways to kill the creaking. I have tried throwing potions at it. I've tried lava. I've tried wind charges. I've tried full damage. And nothing will kill the creaking. I have also tried entity cramming, because normally entity cramming can override most damage types. And I'm using wind charges just to push this creaking. This hole down here does do entity cram, and you can see the creaking isn't dying. If I was to drop a cow down there, so let's quickly just show you, the cow does die, and the creaking also doesn't die if I look away from it. And there's 2 damage types that will kill the creaking. That is generic kill, so that is when using the command like /kill. And also out of this world, which is things like the void. So you technically could kill a creaking if you broke bedrock and dropped the creaking down, but they're the only 2 ways to kill a creaking spawned by the creaking heart. Now, another thing I want to test is, can the creaking go inside of a boat, a minecart, and can it also be name tagged Dinnerbone? Now, it's very annoying because this video has been recorded mostly at nighttime, just because that's the only time the creaking spawns. So first of all, do you work with Dinnerbone? And you do. That looks really funny. So you can be named Dinnerbone. Can you go inside of a boat? Now, I'm guessing probably not. So maybe if I was, let's quickly just head over here. Let's place a load of boats like around me. And I'm going to go in survival mode and look at these guys just to see if they get in one of the boats. So if I go in survival mode, look at them so they don't move, look away from them, and they're running to me, and they just walk straight over the boats. So no, they cannot go in boats. I'm guessing then is probably the same for minecarts, but we are going to test it anyway. So I've currently just done something like this because I want to see if like the creaking is stuck within minecarts, if it does go in. And with that being pushed into both of them, nothing happens. If I look away, okay, the creaking is in the minecart. That's really cool. Why can't they go in boats then? Unless they can, it's just like very hard to get them inside of a boat. But they can definitely go in minecarts, because if I go in creative mode and push this one, you can see it's inside of the minecart. Now, the 2 final things I want to mention is, can you get the creaking to kill other mobs? And the answer to this is no. It will only attack the player. It won't attack any hostile mob, nor will it attack any passive mob. Inside of Minecraft Live, they showed the pale oak leaves inside of other biomes, and these leaves turned green. Well, do they tint in different biomes? And the answer to this is, I don't think so. This block has the biome of pale pale garden, and this block has the biome of mushroom fields. And if I place the leaves on these two, you can see they have not changed. They have the exact same tint to them. And the final thing I want to test is apparently illagers will flee from a creaking if they are within 8 blocks. So if I spawn a creaking in, okay, the illusioner does run. What about the vindicator? Yes, the vindicator does run. The evoker does also run. And so does a pillager. Now, does a ravager? Yes, okay, ravagers do as well. Okay, that's interesting. All of the illagers flee from a creaking. I wonder if that's going to be some kind of lore thing, or maybe a hint at what's next for this part of the update. I want to know, do vexes, because vexes are a part of illagers, do they flee from the creaking? And it seems like no. Vexes do not care about the creaking, but all other illagers do. But anyway, that is it for this video. I've tested a load of things inside of this snapshot, and once again, some of these things that I've mentioned could change. But anyway, if you enjoyed, do like and subscribe, as it does really help out, and I guess I'll see you guys in another one very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!